Greetings all. So some of you have been asking me to do a tutorial on ship or barge building. Look, as you can see here with my General's Minutemen barge on the starboard side here, I've actually used these steel cabinets from the vanilla workshop just to create these walls or sides to the barge or ship. But there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can also use the half walls from the warehouse or barn area of the workshop. I'm going to try to show you both ways. Look, I might have to do this tutorial in a couple of parts. It's just going to be too long to do in one video, I think. So I've started a bit of a base here, just to show you guys how to build the base. Look, it can be a bit painstaking. I mean, look, it's an unorthodox way of doing things. I don't really think Bethesda intended for players to be building these kind of things. But just to show you how I do it, how I get this base down and get these tapers the way that they are, I use these shack foundations. Now you can place these. Now you also want to pick a fairly shallow part of the water. You don't want it too deep, because if you come right out here, you'll find that you won't be able to, as you can see, you won't be able to raise them above the surface, because obviously they need some sort of an anchor point. So yeah, a reasonably shallow area to start with. Now how I do this is I'll get one of these, let's pop this over here, I'll get one of these foundations in the water. And yeah, so if we just take this away, I mean, to start this thing from scratch, it's just going to take way too long. So I figured I'd sort of get part of this down, and it might just sort of be easier to show you how I did it rather than start from scratch. So if we get one of these, and these steel floors are the best things to use. You'll find that if you try to use a like a barn floor or something like that, it won't actually sink into the water like this is. So basically, yeah, you get your concrete, or yeah, your shack foundation, or you can use any foundation really. You want to get it sort of at a right height, and then you can sort of snap these things to it. Now, obviously, you want to get the angle right. You can rotate these however you like. You can even bring them right up to corners as well. Like in this case here, I'll try to show you. And you'll find that, yeah, these will just sort of snap on any angle, and they'll glitch into other floors, and that's how you sort of create that taper. Yeah, there you go. But you also want to get it at the right height as well. So let's bring that up a bit. And basically a good way to tell that you've got everything level and at the right height is you want to be able to see all of these lines. If you can't see one or two of these lines, as you can see here, you can't see the lines coming off this floor here. That means it's way too low, or it's going to be too low, and you're going to have problems later on. So we'll take this out here for now. Now, as you can see, I've already gone through the painstaking process of getting all of this level. Now, another thing too is all of these lines, when you put this floor down, when you use this shack foundation to snap these pieces to it, you want everything to look fairly symmetrical. Yeah, as you can see here, all of these lines, they're fairly symmetrical with each other, and that's a good way to tell. So you can see these lines here, they match those ones. That's a good way to tell that you've got your floor fairly level and you've got your tapers looking fairly symmetrical. And obviously that's how you want it to make your barge look good or your ship look good. So yeah, And obviously getting your centerpieces. I mean, once you get about 2 or 3 of these down, you'll find that the rest will generally just sort of snap to it okay. There you go. So you've got another front section there. I've done the same thing at the back. Now here, yep, you'll find that, yep, they'll all just snap in. Once you get these angles right with that shack foundation, everything will just snap. Yeah. All right, so that's that. Now, secondly, putting the walls up. I think we might start with these barn walls, and yeah, I normally use the half walls for this. Yeah, okay. Now they won't snap to these metal floors, and that's probably a good thing. In which case you can sort of freestyle them. Now the best way to do this is, all right, so you can see where it tapers there. You can probably start by putting one there, and you want to get this as flush to the edge as possible. Yeah, roughly about there. I mean, look, obviously the more OCD you are with it, the better it's going to be. Now, don't put a wall here straight away, because obviously it will snap to this one, as you can see. Put it here instead, or actually even start here where it tapers again. There's a bit of trial and error doing this. Yeah, you want to get it roughly flush with that edge there again. Yeah, that should do. Alright, now, okay. Just move that up a bit, I think. So we can put this one here, put it again flush to the edge. I mean, obviously, where I've put this, it's probably even a little bit too shallow. As you can see, my barge, it's kind of starting to run aground there. But yeah, just to show you guys, I mean, look, obviously, if you've got deeper water, you can put these shack foundations around the other side, so you've got a base to work on. Okay, and then you can put another one here, and we should be able to get it to snap to this wall here. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there we go. So we've got the taper there. Now this one's going to be a bit tricky. Sometimes if we just sort of, yeah, no, okay. All right, so what we're going to have to do here, just pop this out of the way. Put a couple of these floors here just for now. So we can pop this up there. Again, try to get it as flush as you can with that. And we should be able to get it to snap the right way. There we go. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and there we go. We've got a nice taper there. I mean, again, try to be a bit fussy with it if you can. Yeah, you want to try to get these in a little bit more. Might take a few goes, a little bit of trial and error. Okay, now I want to put some floors here. And these floors should automatically just snap to this now. Yep, 1, 2. This one going to make a liar out of me. That one's okay. Okay, and we've got one here too. Great. Yep. So if we have a look up here, I mean, obviously the straighter you get these walls, the less of this you're going to see, these little corners poking out. But you get the general drift of it. This is how you get that taper on the wall, the floors, etc. So we'll just get rid of this. Now on the other side, I'm going to show you how to do it with the cabinets. So we'll just go to the furniture section here. Yeah. Now the way I do this, it's a little bit trickier. It's a lot easier with the walls, but yeah, we'll just put a few of these down. Use the rug glitch for this. Yeah, obviously I like using these square mats. One will do, we don't need to use two or anything. And two reasons why we're using these mats. One, we want to get these to sync. And two, we're going to have to glitch some of these into each other as well. I want to try to get this as flush with the edge of that floor as we can. Roughly about there. Yeah, that looks good enough. Get rid of that. Okay, that on top. Get that nice and flush with that cabinet there. We don't want any gaps. If we can avoid that, that'd be great. Just save you a lot of trouble later. Get rid of that. Okay, now if we want to put one on the corner here, again, the rug glitch just makes it a lot easier. One of them there. And yeah, that will just glitch into that. Yeah, that's good enough just to show you guys. Yep, so we'll get rid of that. I mean, look, if you've got any gaps here, obviously, again, a rug, and what you can do is even use one of these smaller cabinets, yeah, for that. Try to put it onto one side a bit, because obviously we want these sides to glitch into each other, and if the mat's in the way, it won't do that. There we go. It's not perfect, but yeah. Yeah, there we go. Now to put the floors on top of these, what we want to do is we want to grab a shack foundation, bring it up here. Try to get it as flush as we can with the top of these cabinets. I mean, basically we want the timber part of the foundation to just stick up fairly flush with the top there. Let's see if that works. Right, yeah, there we go. That worked. Now if we bring this around here, we want to sort of do this on a bit of an angle again. Don't be scared to jump up on these cabinets either. Here we go. Roughly about there. We want this corner to kind of kiss that corner a little bit. Get it as close as we can. That looks pretty good. Will that work? Yep, here we go. Obviously, the other one will just snap to it. We won't need to use this until we come around to this section where it tapers again. Obviously, we're going to put more of these cabinets under here before we do this. Otherwise, we're going to have problems. But yeah, just to show you how it's done, how we get that taper. That's how I built the flagship barge over there, the general's barge. I wanted to have a lower deck, so I used these cabinets. Yeah, so that's how I did that. Let's jump back up here. But obviously, for now, yeah, we're going to use these half walls for this. That was just to basically give you a rough idea of how to do it with the cabinets. Now, I like to reinforce these walls, and how I do that is it can be a bit tricky. You find that sometimes these, well, most of the time, they'll just glitch into the walls that are already there. Can be a bit tricky. Let's see if we can do this. Might have to take maybe one of the floors off. Just put it over there for now. I'm going to stick it up there. Let's see if this works. It does require a little bit of patience. Okay, well in that case, yeah, there we go. Just gives them a bit of a reinforced look. What we can do too is, yeah, put one there, and yeah, that'll just snap to that. Nice little trick. Yeah, and it just gives us a reinforced look. And look, obviously, if you're using these barn walls on the outside here, sorry, the warehouse walls, obviously, you're not going to want to have all of these little rust holes in your hull. So, yeah, again, using the timber barn walls, it's a good way of covering up those holes, and yeah, just making your hull look a bit stronger, a little bit more reinforced. So yeah, actually we'll try to get this as flush as we can again. Actually, we're going to have to drag that up in a sec. Put this one here for now. Get that as flush as we can. Again, we'll pop this one up here first, just so it doesn't try to snap to this. Another one there, and again we'll have to use a couple of these metal floors just to put a wall on here, just to get one to snap here without it interfering with that, because we are on the angle now again. So yeah, just pop this here, try and get it as flush as we can. How does that look? Yeah, try to get those corners nice and flush too. There we go. Now we can get rid of this. And there we are. Again, we can. These floors should just automatically snap to that now. Another one here. Now let's see if we can reinforce what these walls look like when they're reinforced with the barn walls. Okay, we're going to have some problems here again by the look of it. Ah, here we go, that one glitched. Or snapped, I should say. There. There you go. That one's in there. So yeah, when you put the warehouse walls down first and then snap the barn walls, you get a slightly different look. As you can see on this side, it does look like, yeah, you've used the warehouse walls on the outside of the hull, but all of these little holes inside there are now reinforced or, yeah, closed up by the barn walls on the other side. But then when you look at this side, you can see the timber barn walls, because we actually put the barn walls down first. So yeah, just a nice way of yeah, giving a different effect. There you go. There's another one there. Different effect for your ship. And yeah, if we jump up here, you can see we've now got this nice tapered effect. I Another floor there. Hopefully that'll snap to that. Yeah, you want to put these floors down here. I've made a bit of a mistake here. Yeah, we'll just take that away for now. Come back around here. You want to try to get most of these floors down before you reinforce. Yeah, there we go. Before you reinforce the walls, because otherwise they will try to snap to the other side, as you can see there. So if we can do that first. Yeah. And then we can just pop that back there. That should. Here we go. Let's just snap back in there. And there you go. So that's part one of my barge ship building tutorial for you guys. Yeah, I hope to do a little bit more, add a few more pieces to this. Also show you guys how to put a generator in there and run some cables, try to make it look fairly neat. But yeah, that's the basics. We've got the base down. We've got the main deck on there. I mean, look, obviously as well, the center pieces, you'll find they'll just generally snap in there like that. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the fussier that you are, the more the more symmetrical everything is, the more time that you spend on this, getting everything flush, getting all these corners right, better it's going to look. I mean, look, I spend hours building these barges. Obviously, I don't want to bore you all to death with that. But yeah, hopefully this helps. Yeah, for those of you who want to get into the shipbuilding side of things, the barge building, maritime sort of things, that kind of thing. Yeah, so yeah, hoping to do a little bit more of this in my next video. Again, show you a little bit more. As far as settlement building goes, I think I might have a go at Nordhagen Beach on the next one. So yeah, if any of you found this useful, or yeah, found that you can use this in your own builds, yeah, please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.